The next area of law that we're going to review is crimes against the person. They are non-homicide crimes. There's basically 6 crimes that can be committed against other people, and those are assault, battery, mayhem, kidnapping, false imprisonment, and rape. Once again, the 6 crimes against another person, which are non-homicide crimes, are number 1, assault, 2, battery, 3, mayhem, 4, kidnapping, 5, false imprisonment, and 6 is rape. So assault, let's give you a definition of assault. And a definition of assault is an attempt to commit a battery or cause apprehension of an immediate battery. Once again, an attempt to commit a battery or cause apprehension of an immediate battery. Mere words or future threats are insufficient to commit an assault. So if someone says, I'm going to come back and get you later on, is that an assault? No, because it's not an immediate harm. They're threatening it in the future. It's not an assault. So that's an example where it wouldn't be. So, but if someone starts to walk up to you with a bat and they're acting like they're going to hit you, is that an assault? Absolutely. You'd be in fear. You think they're going to hit you right then. That is an assault. So aggravated assault is where a weapon is used. The definition would be the use of a weapon to commit a crime. All right? So let's talk about battery. Battery is a general intent crime, and I'm going to give you a definition for battery. Again, battery is a general intent crime, and that is number 2 out of our 6 crimes against the person. Battery definition is unlawful application of force to the person of another that results in bodily harm or an offensive touching. Once again, a definition for battery is an unlawful application of force to the person of another that results in bodily harm or an offensive touching. So the conduct can be criminal negligence or reckless. We don't need specific intent to actually hit somebody. So for example, let's say, most likely you're going to see some specific intent. Let's say someone is swinging a bat in a crowded room. I mean, that's pretty negligent and it's pretty reckless. And then they hit somebody and they actually harm somebody. We can find somebody guilty of battery criminally in a situation like that. But I'll tell you, on most exams and on the bar exam, you're going to be able to see exactly what it is. They're going to show that someone has committed an actual battery, and you just make sure you discuss it appropriately and you quote the rule of law appropriately too, okay? So mayhem. Mayhem is number 3, and the definition of mayhem is intent to maim or cause bodily injury by disabling some use of some body part. It's not really tested, and it's not on the bar exam really. You won't see it much. I don't think they've tested mayhem in the bar exam for years. It's not something I would overly concern yourself with. It's sort of one of those maybe issues. Again, it's mayhem. The definition is intent to maim or do bodily injury by disabling some body part. Let's move on to number 4, which is kidnap. And the common law definition is the unlawful restraint by force to send another person to another country. The Model Penal Code definition, it is the majority, meaning the majority of states follow the Model Penal Code now, and it is what you will follow on the MBE portion of the bar exam. And it is an unlawful restraint by force and movement of another to another location. The movement may be slight as from a bedroom to a living room, okay? Once again, it's the unlawful restraint by force of another to move them to a different location. The movement may be slight. It can be as slight as from a bedroom to a living room, all right? So I want you to remember that. Next area is false imprisonment. Definition for false imprisonment is the use of force or threat to confine another to a specific place. Once again, false imprisonment is the use of force or threat to confine another to a specific place. So they can't have any means of easily finding escape, number one. And if you have a child, let's say you have a child who has been kidnapped, and but the child doesn't know that they've been kidnapped. They think that they're going on a fun day. Are we going to hold somebody criminally liable under false imprisonment for the child, even though the child is not aware? Yes, we are. However, if it's an adult, the adult must be aware of the confinement. Children, they don't have to be aware of the confinement, and that is for protective reasons, okay? So let's move on to the next one. The next one, number 6, is rape. Definition of rape is the unlawful sexual intercourse by a male with a female without her consent. So I want you to know that at common law, a husband could not be guilty of raping his wife. Again, at common law, a husband could not be guilty of raping his wife. However, under the Model Penal Code and the majority and what you want to follow on the MBE, a husband can rape his wife. Once again, under the Model Penal Code, it's the majority and the MBE, a husband can be held guilty for raping his wife. Also, I want you to know that when you have an attempt, so remember this, rape is a general intent crime. But when someone is charged with attempted rape, all crimes that are charged by attempt, you have to have the specific intent to commit the rape. So, if a man attempts to rape somebody and is charged with attempted rape, we must find a specific intent for him to commit the rape. You have to remember that. Every time you see attempt, I always want you to remember, anytime they've got an attempt before the crime, you have to find a specific intent, regardless of whether it is a general intent crime or not. Also, at common law, a woman could not be found guilty of rape. However, I want you to know that a woman can be held guilty under the Model Penal Code of rape when she does something to assist or entice a rape. So for example, let's say a woman is part of a group who is committing some type of a robbery. During that robbery, one of the co-felons commits a rape, and she already knows that he is prone to committing sexual acts against women. That woman, as a co-felon, can be and will be held liable for the rape of the victim, okay? Because she is a co-felon, and she will be held liable for all acts that are a foreseeable consequence of the crime. Or let's say it's a boyfriend-girlfriend, and the boyfriend decides he wants to attack some woman, and she says, "Yeah, honey, go for it, go get her." That is her encouraging and enticing him. In that particular instance, she can be found guilty of rape also. Okay, so there are instances where women can be held liable and guilty for rape. All right? So statutory rape, I want to go over that very quickly with you. It is a strict liability crime. Once again, statutory rape is a strict liability crime. Strict liability crimes, what did we say about those earlier? We don't care about the intent of the defendant. The intent, the state of mind of the defendant has no bearing on a strict liability crime. So I'm going to give you a definition for statutory rape, and that is sexual intercourse with an underage female. Consent of the female is no defense. Once again, consent of the female is no defense. There's been a big case lately in the news. It's a rapper, I don't know his name, I'm sorry, but some rapper was accused of having sex with someone who's supposedly his goddaughter or something. He ended up being found ultimately not guilty, but he was charged with statutory rape because at the time the video was made, she apparently was underage. Therefore, his state of mind and whether or not he had her consent has no bearing on a statutory rape charge. Okay? So those are the 6 crimes against the person. I'm going to go over those one more time. They are assault, battery, mayhem, kidnapping, false imprisonment, and rape.